doing something else, and then they became interested in me boxing. So I think if it wasn't for that.
Jake Paul has become one of the most polarizing figures in modern boxing. From his explosive rise as a YouTuber turned fighter to his constant trash talk aimed at legends and champions, Jake has done more than just make headlines. He's divided the sport. At 28, he's managed to capture global attention, but not everyone is impressed.
That home run shot in front of his face so easily. And let's also remember that one came from YouTube. That's all.
Many traditional boxers see him as an outsider exploiting their craft for fame and money. To them, Jake Paul represents a new era where entertainment overshadows respect and followers mean more than footwork. Despite his undeniable improvement in the ring and a growing record of wins, Jake's brash attitude and disrespectful comments have made him one of the most disliked figures among pros. Over the years, several boxers have openly admitted their frustration, anger, or outright hatred toward him. Some see him as a fraud, others as a clown, and a few as a dangerous influence on the sport they love. Today we're diving deep into the stories of 6 fighters who couldn't stand Jake Paul, the rivalries, the words exchanged, and the emotions that turned dislike into open hostility. 1. Canelo Alvarez. Few rivalries have highlighted the tension between traditional boxing and celebrity boxing, like the one between Jake Paul and Canelo Alvarez. Canelo, a multiple division world champion and one of the greatest fighters of his era, has never hidden his contempt for Jake Paul. When Jake began calling out elite fighters like Canelo, many saw it as marketing. But Canelo took it personally. He viewed Jake as someone disrespecting the years of sacrifice, discipline, and hard work it takes to reach the top. Canelo once said, "It's disrespectful to the sport that someone with no real background thinks he can call out champions." To him, boxing wasn't a playground for influencers. Jake, of course, fired back with his usual confidence, claiming that one day he'd knock Canelo out. That statement infuriated fans and veterans alike, but especially Canelo, who dismissed Jake as a kid playing games. Their feud intensified when Jake began mocking Canelo's loss to Dimitri Bivol and accusing him of ducking a YouTuber. For Canelo, who built his career on legacy, it was a slap in the face. Behind the scenes, those close to him say Canelo sees Jake as a threat to boxing's integrity, someone turning it into entertainment rather than a noble art. Though he insists he'll never fight him, it's clear Canelo's dislike for Jake Paul runs deep, rooted not in fear but in frustration that boxing's purity has been overshadowed by hype. 2. Floyd Mayweather Jr. When it comes to animosity, few rivalries have been as public and intense as the one between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Jake Paul. The tension started in 2021 when Jake attended the press conference for Floyd's exhibition with Logan Paul. During the event, Jake snatched Floyd's hat, a move that instantly went viral and enraged the undefeated legend. "Gotcha hat" became a meme worldwide, but for Mayweather, it was pure disrespect. He saw Jake not just as a clown, but as someone mocking his legacy. What followed was chaos. Punches thrown, security guards scrambling, and Floyd shouting that Jake would get what's coming. Jake turned the incident into a marketing victory, selling merchandise with the slogan and using it to boost his image as boxing's rebel. But for Floyd, the moment drew a clear line. Jake Paul wasn't just another influencer, he was a nuisance to the sport he helped define. Even after the incident, Mayweather didn't hide his hatred. He called Jake a fake fighter and a spoiled kid chasing fame. Jake, on the other hand, continued to taunt him online, even claiming he'd one day beat Floyd in a real fight. For a perfectionist like Mayweather, that was blasphemy. The gotcha hat saga remains one of the most infamous confrontations in modern boxing, symbolizing how Jake's antics can turn legends into enemies. Floyd's hatred for him isn't about fear or competition, it's about principle. To him, Jake Paul disrespected the very foundation of the sport that made him great. 3. Olajide Olayinka Williams Olatunji, KSI. The rivalry between Jake Paul and KSI has been one of the most personal and long-lasting in the influencer boxing world. While both began their boxing journeys on YouTube, their relationship quickly turned into pure hatred. KSI was the first to open the door for YouTubers in boxing when he fought Logan Paul, Jake's brother. But instead of mutual respect, the Pauls saw it as a challenge. Jake constantly insulted KSI, calling him afraid to fight me and mocking his skills. KSI fired back, labeling Jake as delusional and a clown who thinks he's a pro. Their feud escalated over years of back-and-forth trash talk, failed negotiations, and online jabs. KSI often accused Jake of picking easy opponents and avoiding real boxers, while Jake mocked KSI's technique and music career. In interviews, KSI made it clear he doesn't just dislike Jake, he despises him. He called Jake the embodiment of arrogance, someone who thinks money can buy respect. Their hate runs deeper than the ring. It's personal, rooted in ego, fame, and one-upmanship. Fans from both camps have fueled the fire, demanding a fight that's been teased for years. KSI once said, "When I finally fight Jake Paul, it won't be for money, it'll be to shut him up forever." Whether or not that fight ever happens, their rivalry stands as one of the most toxic and entertaining in influencer boxing history. 4. Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury's hatred for Jake Paul is unique because it was built through years of tension, mind games, and personal insults. Their rivalry began when Jake started calling out the Fury family, even mocking Tommy's father and brother, heavyweight champion Tyson Fury. Jake repeatedly questioned Tommy's skills and courage, calling him a fake Fury and accusing him of ducking fights. For Tommy, who carries the weight of a proud boxing family name, those insults crossed the line. When they finally met in the ring in 2023, it was more than a boxing match. It was personal redemption. Tommy defeated Jake in a close decision, immediately breaking down in tears afterward. He called the victory for the Fury name and real boxers everywhere. But even after the fight, Jake's comments didn't stop. He claimed he was robbed and promised revenge, which reignited Tommy's anger. Fury called Jake a sore loser and said he talks too much for someone who just got beaten. Despite their rematch talks, the mutual hatred remains intense. Tommy views Jake as a disrespectful outsider who insults the craft of boxing, while Jake sees Tommy as a stepping stone for his career. Their feud symbolizes the ongoing war between tradition and entertainment. And though Tommy got the win, the animosity between them continues to simmer. 5. Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz, the MMA legend turned boxer, made his feelings about Jake Paul clear from day one. He couldn't stand him. Their beef started on social media, where Jake constantly mocked Diaz's fight record and lifestyle, calling him washed up and a punching bag. For Nate, a fighter known for his authenticity and toughness, Jake's arrogance was intolerable. When they finally fought in 2023, the animosity was visible from the first bell. Diaz didn't care about the fame or the payday. He wanted to hurt Jake. He called Jake a fake gangster and accused him of playing tough for clicks. Though Jake won the fight by decision, Nate made it clear afterward that his respect for him was zero. "He ain't real," Diaz said. "He's just a YouTuber trying to be me." Jake, always the provocateur, responded by offering Diaz a rematch in MMA, knowing it would keep him in the headlines. Behind all the promotion, it's clear Diaz genuinely dislikes Jake. To him, Jake represents the commercialization of combat sports, where skill takes a back seat to showmanship. Their interactions have been filled with real tension, not staged drama. Even after their fight, the rivalry continues, with Diaz promising that if they ever meet again, it won't go to the judges. 6. Conor McGregor. Jake Paul's feud with Conor McGregor has been one of the most explosive in combat sports. It began when Jake started calling McGregor out on social media, posting videos where he insulted him, mocked his losses, and even offered $50 million for a fight. He went as far as insulting McGregor's family and fiancé, something that crossed every line of respect. McGregor, known for his pride and fiery temper, initially ignored Jake, calling him a nobody. But as Jake's fame grew, the insults became harder to avoid. Jake taunted him after every loss, even throwing water bottles at his team during public events. McGregor's hatred toward Jake stems from more than just insults. It's about image. For years, McGregor was the face of crossover combat, a fighter who blended skill with entertainment. Jake Paul, in many ways, copied that formula but added chaos and disrespect. McGregor sees Jake as an imitator without the authenticity or achievements to back it up. In interviews, McGregor has laughed off Jake's challenges but admitted he finds him annoying as hell. Jake, on the other hand, continues to chase the fight, calling McGregor a broken man. Whether they ever meet or not, their feud has become a defining storyline, a clash between two of the loudest, most controversial personalities in fighting. Behind the cameras, there's no act. Just two men who genuinely can't stand each other.